Welcome to Spirit School. I'm your mentor, Danielle Sarank, also known as the Squamish Medium. In this podcast, I share honestly all I have learned about the mediumship and spiritual development journey. My intention is to normalize these conversations, to make way for a more confident, clear, and connected wave of lightworkers, serving the world of spirit with an open and joyful soul. Welcome again to Spirit School. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Spirit School podcast. I am excited to bring you another episode that is focused a little bit more on mediumship. My mind is very focused on mediumship right now because I am teaching the initiation for the 9th time in 3 years on my Mediumship Foundations course, which I'm super excited about. It's not even a course, it's an experience. It actually comes with a course, but it is live classes, partner practice pairings, a community, and it's really, really exciting. Not only do you complete 16 readings in the 8 weeks, but you also receive 16 readings in the 8 weeks. A lot of people think that there needs to be like a signier sign, or there needs to be a certain prerequisite to be able to go into mediumship development. And I've been saying this for years. The only prerequisite to mediumship is a life well lived. And so the more that you live your life and the more life that you live, the more that you get to be of service to the world of spirit. And not only that, but be able to help such a diverse set of people who are going through experiences like you maybe have walked. So I don't think that mediumship development is only accessible to the chosen few. I don't believe everyone who develops mediumship is meant to be a David Beckham of mediumship, to use that as an example. But I think that there are so many personal development and personal growth reasons why mediumship development is for everyone. And I haven't really talked about them that much on the podcast. So I'm going to just share a few that I kind of have been thinking about and pondering about, because there's a lot of people who are like, well, I don't want to be a medium and I don't think that I'll ever do readings. And I'm here to say that a lot of people who develop mediumship don't go on to be traditional readers in any way. Much like Reiki seems to be a pathway to mediumship for a lot of people, or massage or hair. I've seen a lot of these kind of hands-on careers that seem to transfer very well into mediumship. But mediumship often is a pathway for people to find a deeper sense of their own purpose. I've seen people develop mediumship who go on to hold women's circles, go on to shamanism, go on to like trance healing. And so for a lot of people, there are things that they discover about themselves that are new by going through mediumship development training. So here are some of the ones that I was pondering about last week. So let's start at the number one. I think that there's like 7 or 8. So we'll see how long this goes. One of the hidden benefits of mediumship development is discovering your natural connection to the spirit world. Now, the spirit world resides in a place that we came from and we eventually return to. A lot of this life is a remembrance of who we really are, the light, the source. And we forget when we're here having this human experience. So by learning how to increase your sensitivities, that there is a spirit world, that they bring through evidence that they are here listening to us, watching us, we develop a more natural connection to that spirit world. And make no mistake, the connection to the world of spirit is one of the most natural connections that we have. But we make it unnatural by thinking we're not enough, by thinking that it's only available and accessible to a few people. We other ourselves and we other each other when we are more similar than different. And so by learning how to connect with the world of spirit, you also learn how to connect with a deeper sense of yourself. So that takes me on to the second point, knowing yourself like never before. A lot of us operate through life very busy. And a lot of us, especially moms, will live life for other people. We have too much going on to think about ourselves or our needs too much because we have so much focus and attention on other people. But the only way to be able to discern the world of spirit around you is to know yourself very deeply, know your energy, know your emotions, know what it feels like to be inside your body, know what it feels like to be inside your mind, knowing what thoughts are yours and what thoughts are other people's or other spirits. So through the path of mediumship development, it's unavoidable. You have to get to know yourself in a very deep and intimate way. You learn to love yourself as well with this knowing, because you start to understand, like, I'm a spirit. Like, why am I overcomplicating this? I think that the world of spirit is all out there with like these angel wings and holier than thou, but we are actually all spirits. And when we gain this deeper understanding of who we are and what we desire and where we need to grow and evolve, this becomes a path of self-realization. And a lot of people benefit from that self-realization path in every area of your life, because when you know who you are in your friendships, in your relationships, in your careers, you won't tolerate people who don't see you clearly. You won't tolerate behavior that is counterintuitive to how valuable you know you are as like a human being and as a spirit being here and embodied. So through the development journey, you get to know yourself in very deep levels. And even though it might surprise you at some of your thoughts, how uncomfortable it can be in your body, you learn to accept it and you learn to create a lifestyle. Maybe you start looking at how you talk to yourself and you start creating a pathway that gets you to where you want to be, which is in the light and in the highest potential and qualities of your humanity, not in the shadows. But we have to see it first. So personal development on steroids when we are doing mediumship development. Okay. With mediumship development, and some of you have taken the initiation, know I talk about this and I always have, that the mediumship development journey is a healing journey. So healing the past and creating a brighter future. The mediumship development, learning how to, sense your energy, how to be aware of energy around you, how to understand that energy and how to transform that energy into information that is healing and helpful for other people, requires a lot of healing. Now, for me personally, I had to heal stage fright. I had to feel so much worthiness. I didn't think I was worthy of being communicated through from the world of spirit because I hadn't lived a super pure life. And so I was like, why would spirit talk through me when they can talk through somebody who attended church every week and prays to God every single day? And I couldn't believe how much healing was required of me to step confidently into the mediumship path. Now, not everyone is ready to do this deep work, but what it comes down to is we really have to learn how to reconcile our past to get onto a path of self-acceptance and self-love and confidence in turn. So we have no choice but to look at the things that are coming up for us, which will be really highlighted in the mediumship path because it is such a new path to you. Let me give you an example of, my worthiness issues. I never considered myself unworthy. I never thought about it. I never walked around life before 31 years old. I'm not worthy of this relationship, or I entered this relationship because I didn't value myself enough and see myself as worthy of like a healthy exchange with somebody. It wasn't until I entered the mediumship space, something completely new, completely out of context of the rest of my life. And I remember sitting in front of my first mentor and she's like, "You're a medium." I said, "No, I'm not. I am not pure enough to speak to the divine." And I didn't realize that that was my first aha moment that I didn't feel worthy. Those of you who have been following my career all these years know that from the very beginning, I've been talking about like, you are worthy, because my journey to becoming a confident medium has been one of healing my lack of worthy issues that came up a lot on the mediumship journey. So each and every one of us who hops onto the mediumship development journey will have different resistances, anxieties, and fears to walk through to be able to get to the path of confidence and clarity for the world of spirit. For some of you, you won't have stage fright and you will know that you're worthy, but maybe there's a perfectionism that comes in, which has been conditioned from the past. Or maybe you figure out that you have been communicating in your head so much that you don't have the language how to describe things coming out because people didn't make you feel seen or heard. So there's no point in sharing your thoughts or sharing your inspirations. And then you're put yourself in a position where it's like, wow, I'm going to be sharing my deepest insights. And there could be something to heal around that, to feel comfortable in that, to build your language around that. So all of us are going to have a very different healing journey when it comes to developing our mediumship, but nobody will escape some healing work that will take place and will be accentuated as you are on the mediumship development journey. And let's face it, anyone who is here for spiritual growth and evolvement will get some sort of weird sense of excitement about that. There are people out there who yeah, I'm not down. I'm not ready for it. But it's unavoidable when you hop on the mediumship development journey path. One of the benefits of it is healing and reconciling things that you have gotten used to living with, that you have coped with, that you have bypassed. They will not be bypassable anymore, if that is even a word. We're going to pretend that's a word. Okay, so the next benefit of mediumship development that has nothing to do with readings is you get to experience pockets of peace and divine love. Now, though I don't believe that, meditation is the only thing that's going to get you sensitive enough to really be able to discern the difference of your energy and the world of spirit's energy, it does require a lot of slowing down. And it does require a different way of listening. And you never hear things the same after you develop mediumship. You never have the same type of exchange with another human being or another animal or another plant than when you learn the mediumship development journey, because you have to slow down enough to be able to listen so carefully, so intently, that in the process of slowing down enough to be able to hear and sense the world of spirit, you get to experience pockets of peace and pockets of divine love. That to me is one of my favorite parts of the development journey, is when I get to sit in the power. We held a seance yesterday in the Spirit School Collective for physical mediumship. And, say what you will about it or where your belief is in it, Winterbrook is phenomenal at physical mediumship and has receipts galore. And one of my favorite parts about the seance was 90 minutes of sitting with spirit. And what that did to my spirit was so replenishing. I was so grateful for that seance. And it wasn't just because I got to see, eyes on students who had their eyes closed and facial features changing and lights appearing. It was also about sitting and slowing down with the intention of connecting in with the spirit world. It completely fills your soul up. And that is a huge benefit of the mediumship development space, because it is unavoidable. I don't care if you sit for 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes a week. It doesn't matter. You do need to sit, and you do need to learn to slow down. And that is going to benefit you in every area of your life when it comes to mediumship development. We're halfway there, folks. This is going to be a short episode. The truth is, I'm recording this on a Thursday afternoon before I go to my kids to go pick them up from school. But, we've been building Spirit School HQ in Squamish. I get the keys tomorrow. It has been 14-hour days. Me and my husband, there every single night, hanging pictures and cleaning and building furniture, getting things all together for Spirit School's grand opening June 1st. And we have been very, very tired, and I haven't even cooked a meal in a week because it's been so busy. And I totally gapped on scheduling, recording a podcast episode. So I'm recording this because I have a little bit of energy, and my kids are off school tomorrow, and I really want to tune out this weekend. So I just want to make sure I get you guys something for next week. So I hope you enjoy this conversation. We're halfway there. One of the benefits of developing mediumship that is not spoken about that much is that you start to see the magic of life all around you. Once you learn to sense and connect with the world of spirit, you start to see the magic of life all around you. You'll notice signs, synchronicities, and deep spiritual experiences that only take a bit more awareness than you have at this current moment. And you start to become aware of the interconnectedness of it all. You start to understand, like, oh, we're light. Oh, we're part of a bigger light. Oh, the divine that I'm speaking to, I'm also the divine. And this tree is divine, and this plant is divine, and this dog is divine, and this baby's divine. This butterfly that came in front of me, like, what a blessing. You start to feel the sense of magic everywhere. And your life is never the same. You don't even look at the clock the same because you're like, are they trying to communicate to me? Or this is how they typically start, is like butterflies and clocks and times and, receipt totals. And then it starts to build out to the point where you will start to be able to hear the world of spirit, and you'll start to receive a message in your heart without words. I mean, there's this beautiful quote, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but the quote goes something like, I was speaking to God today, and I, who was awaiting words, almost missed the message in the flowers. Something like that. And it was like looking at a flower, and I got covered in shivers even saying that. But like looking at a flower and having that meditative moment, you start to feel filled with inspiration. You start to feel filled with like life and love, and like that spirit communicating with you. But we're waiting often for words. We're waiting for something human to happen. And often they speak to us through the nature and the world around us. And so you never look at the world the same after that. One of my favorite parts of mediumship development, and this is our next one, we got 3 left, is you start to live authentically and on purpose. If you have been people pleasing your way through life and living in a way that you assume other people are expecting you to live, it's very depleting. And when you learn about mediumship development, you learn about personal boundaries, you learn about energetic sovereignty, and you learn about your energy, where it begins and ends. And when you have a greater sense and a keen, attuned sense of who you are and how much energy you actually have to give, you start living more authentically. You stop people pleasing. You stop saying yes to the things you know you don't have capacity for, that were draining you before you knew your authentic truth. I personally feel like developing mediumship, showing up as a medium, just as me, always as me, has given me a new sense of authentic living that I didn't have before. When I had like the apartment downtown Vancouver, when I had the job in the music industry, when I thought that that was like the cool thing. And when you would meet people, it would like super impress them. But I was so miserable there. I hated living in a city. I don't even care that much about music. Like, I love instrumental music and I love Tupac from the early 90s. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a music connoisseur in any way, but it looked really cool and it made me feel very established. It was like this false sense of established. And then when I hop on the mediumship path, I'm like, I only have so much light to give. I have no other way to be than being me. And I'm going to stop trying to be anything else. And I started living more authentically, and I'm so much more free now, so much more free. And then you start to live a little bit more on purpose. Now, I believe that living on purpose means living in joy, finding joy in this human experience. You know how hard that is? It's not easy down here. We find something that brings us joy. We are living on purpose. And so nobody I know who enters the mediumship path with a curiosity leaves without feeling a deeper sense of purpose. And again, that purpose may not be sitting for traditional readings or putting a shingle out and charging for your services. It could be very well that you start to actually see that you have been living on purpose, but you have been missing that part of joy. You haven't slowed down enough to be able to sense it. And so you actually start to, if you're not currently living on purpose, you're starting to seek opportunities too. And now keep in mind, in our society in North America, we prioritize work, right? We're, a capitalistic society. We have an economy to run. And so a lot of people say that the purpose is the work that they do. And you'll know this if you travel abroad. In North America, the second thing we ask each other, we ask first, what's your name? Second question, what do you do? That is not common anywhere else in the world other than North America. It's an us thing. They're working us to death over here, okay? So a lot of people think that purpose has to do with how you earn money and work. I don't believe that. I think we can feel on purpose in our family circles. We can feel on purpose in our communities. We can feel on purpose volunteering. right? Volunteering is something that makes people feel really full of life, and it has nothing to do with financial exchange. So when I talk about purpose, I want you to think about, where can I find more joy in the here and now? And I bet you it's right around you and you just don't see it because we don't slow down enough. And so that's a huge benefit of mediumship development. I just had a thought pop in my head and I have to interrupt the podcast episode on this, but I want to say hi to Bart. I want to say hi to Bart in Malibu. I swear I have like the biggest fan of Malibu. And I was talking to my friend and she keeps telling me, she's like, oh my God, my dad is like such a big fan. He loves your podcast and he tells everyone about it. So I was like, well, I want to give him a shout out on the podcast. So because the thought popped in mid recording, welcome to my brain. Squirrel, squirrel. I want to take this opportunity to say, hi, Bart. I'm like, I feel your love. Thank you so much for your generosity. I'm so excited to meet you. He's actually coming to Canada in July or August, I should say, to like come meet me. And I am so looking forward to meeting you, Bart, and your whole family. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And I just couldn't leave this episode without giving you a shout out and just saying thank you for your listenership and like just the passion and the support that you give me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Bart. Putting legions of angels around you with everything that you're going through. And I just want to let you know that I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for listening to that, because it was really important to me that I acknowledge him, because I keep getting messages from people saying, this guy Bart. I'm like, yes, I love you too. I'm so excited. And I should say it's my bestie's dad, who I didn't get to meet when I was in Malibu last year. But yeah, he's a big supporter. Okay, so the next, and we have two left, developing new skills for personal and professional growth. So in addition to mediumship skills, you develop listening skills, speaking skills, interpersonal skills. You're going to be working in the initiation. You're going to have 18 practice partners. You're going to meet 18 other human beings. Not everyone is going to be your jam, but you're going to learn how to show up, even if they aren't your jam, and learn how to navigate interpersonal relationships, which is very important and valuable for every area of your life. You learn meditation. You learn about boundaries and energy management skills. You learn to manage nerves and do things scared, right? And you learn to ask for what you need to thrive. So the personal development benefits that come through mediumship development, there are way too many to account for. These are just a few, but these skills will serve you in your workplaces, in your marriages, in your friendships, if you're willing to do the work. There are a lot of people who, I won't say a lot, but there are people who I've encountered who actually don't have a lot of interest in the personal development and just want to skip to the fame, skip to the huge, mediums become a little bit celebrity-like. And I don't know why it's like that for mediums over different modalities. Maybe because it's on TV, but there are people who I've encountered who just want the glory and aren't willing to do that work. So they may not get all these benefits. But if you're willing to look at yourself differently, because now you have a responsibility, when you learn how to communicate with the world of spirit, they're going to put you to work. And to be put to work by the world of spirit, you have to do the work. And when you're doing the capital W work, right? I'm going to say mediumship development is the little w work, and the big capital W work is actually in the personal development sphere of mediumship development. You will be put to work by the world of spirit. And whether that's a traditional reading, before I was doing professional readings, I would have people in the workplace come up to me and like seek counsel or advice. And the world of spirit was putting me to work, even though it didn't look like it looks right now, because I was willing to do that really deep introspective healing work, right? Heal that shit. I had to heal so much shit to be able to be a full-time medium. And I tell you, if I didn't heal that, there's no way I would have gone full-time. There's no way I would have given up my corporate career. But because I did that internal work and I loved myself and I was able to see myself a little bit more clearly, I'm still working on seeing myself. It's because of that personal development that I did that. There's no way I would believe testimonials and like have people say, oh, you should be doing this full-time. There is no way that in my human, I would make the leap just based off of someone else's word. I needed to feel it for myself. And so learning these new skills for personal and professional growth is what gave me the confidence to be able to really find my way on this path. And there are people who will skip steps. And I'm telling you, you can't skip steps. They will be brought to you at some point. So just do the work. That's what's being asked of you, really. And the final benefit that is not often spoken about when it comes to mediumship development is that you get to become an ally for the spirit world and for humanity. So by committing to mediumship development, you declare to the spirit world, put me to work. Even if you don't use those words, that is what your soul is saying. I'm here. I've arrived. I'm ready to see what this is all about. No matter where it takes me, I have no expectations. I'm going to learn how to connect with energy. I'm going to learn how to use my own energy. And then I'm going to let you decide what and how best I can serve the world of spirit with this. And you can use these skills in your family circles, at work, and through your interactions in life. And the world of spirit needs more allies in today's world than ever before. So by developing your mediumship abilities, you become an ally for humanity as well. There's a post I did on Instagram a couple years ago. So one of the ways that I stopped putting so much pressure on myself, because I realized a lot of the pressure I was putting on myself in my early years of mediumship was because I was so overwhelmed with what the sitter thought of me. Did I meet their need? Did I give them what they want? Did I give them what they expected? And my God, that people-pleasing, heal that shit journey was huge for me in the mediumship development space. And one day I said, you know what? I don't work for humans anymore. I work for spirit. And I shifted my perspective and I went a huge pendulum swing the other way, where it's like, okay, spirit, I'm leaning back into you. How can I serve you? I work for you now. And to alleviate the pressure and the assumptions that I was putting on the humans who were sitting in front of me. And I did that for a little while until I found myself, my pendulum kind of coming back into the middle. And I found my center again. And now I'm in a place because I did a huge swing to pleasing humanity. And then I did a huge other swing to pleasing the world of spirit. And now I'm in the middle and I'm centered. And I'm like, I'm an ally for the spirit world and I'm an ally for humanity. And I'm ready to work for both realms. And I tell you, the world of spirit, trust me, because the amount of people who come into my world and who trust me with their path, it's nothing short of miraculous. And I do believe it's because I'm an ally for the spirit world. I'm an ally for humanity. People know when they sit in front of me that I care about them and that I care about humanity, but not at the sacrifice of my own energy and my own inner resources, right? There's those boundaries there. And then the world of spirit knows as well, more than anyone, what my boundaries are and how much I can serve and how much I can't. And in that way, I say spirit is my algorithm and spirit is my agent, because they know when I'm taxed out not to bring me clients, and I will see a little bit of a lull and then I recoup my energy and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling regenerated again and rejuvenated again. And all of a sudden, all these people start seeing me clearly again. And I do believe that is the world of spirit because I'm their ally. They take care of me as well. And so, I have a really deep sense of love for humanity. And like, this is something that really became really clear for me through the Sacred Spirit Retreat. And we weren't doing anything mediumship. I didn't tell anyone what we were doing. I didn't even know what they expected. We were connecting with earth medicine. We were connecting with trees and plants and, some of my cultural teachings and that whole experience about like not going up, not lifting the vibration, not connecting into the spirit realm, letting them come to us in our humanity. My gosh, how much I fell in love with humans all over again. I just fell in love with humanity. And ever since then, all I see is the good in the world. I know there's a lot of shit in the world going down that's not good. I'm aware of it all. Anyone who has conversations with me knows I am up and up what is happening around the world. Love politics, love global news from civilian journalists. I am very up and up in what's going on in the world and how crappy it is. But I'm telling you, all I see with the love I have for humanity, thanks to the mediumship development and serving the world of spirit for humans, is the good in humanity and the good in people. And I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. So these are just a few of the perks and benefits that has nothing to do with readings, that has nothing to do with evidence, that has nothing to do with messages, that has nothing to do with being famous. It has everything to do with your human experience and the life that you choose to live here. And there are many more than this list, but this is kind of what came through me last Friday when I was writing this out. It came through so quickly. I was like, yeah, there's just so many reasons why mediumship development would serve somebody. And I think, again, a lot of people see it very narrowed where it's like, well, I don't plan on doing readings, so why do I need to develop this? Well, it has nothing to do with it. For so many of you, all you do is show up with a curiosity to tune into who you are as a spirit being, and then just let the spirit world guide you to where they can put you to work with it, okay? So, impromptu podcast episode, recorded on my phone, in my voice notes app, nothing fancy to see here. I hope you enjoyed this. If you are curious about mediumship development, the initiation is an incredible program. It has helped hundreds of people find community, find their authentic path, find their spiritual connection, and I do it in a really fun and supportive way. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. We start May 19th. And I may do it again in fall. I may not. I don't know. We're going to see how things go at Spirit School HQ. And for those of you who are in Squamish, I will be doing an initiation-ish experience starting June in person, once a week for 6 weeks. We will be meeting for Mediumship Foundations to lead up to Dominic Bogue, who is my favorite mentor of all time, coming to Spirit School in July to teach a 2-day advancing mediumship workshop with me, which I'm so excited about, but you have to have the foundations to attend that. So I'm going to be local here, giving the foundations in person, and then through the initiation online as well. And for those of you who can't come to Squamish, it's actually really expensive in the summer, it turns out, because it's the outdoor recreation capital of Canada. Everyone wants to come here. So they do jack up the prices a bit in summer. We will have an online class as well the following Monday. So all that you'll find out about on my website, squamishmedium.com, or on Instagram at Squamish Medium. That's where I hang out the most, or the free Spirit School community, which I post about in there as well. But I try not to be selly in there because I didn't bring everyone there to just pitch to. So I usually just mention things once there, and then, yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. I hope to be your mediumship development mentor, if not now, at some point in the future. And I thank you for listening. I thank you for being here. I thank you for being witness to my path, because so many of you have been listening for years, and 2-3 years ago, there's no way I could talk about anything I'm doing on the podcast, but I'm proud of what I've created. I'm proud of the mentor I am. I'm proud of how I teach. And so I'm starting to lean into that more and just share what I'm proud to share. So I hope it resonates, and I would love to hear from you in the Spirit School community, the free community. What are some of the hidden benefits of mediumship development that you've experienced? And let's keep this conversation going. All right, friends, I'll see you in Spirit School. Did you know that Spirit School is not just a podcast? It's an actual school. If you go to myspiritschool.com, you can invest in self-study courses, live programs, and of course the Spirit School Collective, my baby, my monthly membership community. All Spirit School offerings are intended to get you feeling clear, confident, and connected to your spiritual path, your development journey, and of course, connected to other spiritual curious souls who are having similar experiences to you. I hope to see you in Spirit School.